Welcome to Philosophy and Shit with Sean. This episode is called Meat Antenna. Our ancestors from fucking time immemorial used observation of nature to make correlations to better understand themselves. Nature's a fucking book, you should read it. The phrase as above, so below comes from an 8th or 9th century Hermetic text. Taoism observes the continuity between nature, the universe, and human affairs. Shamanism, paganism, etc. There's a shit ton of examples. I'm here to propose a fucking update. We like to think we're separate from nature. We feel like we're trapped inside of a meat bubble and nature flows around us, but that's bullshit. We think of pollution, industry, technology, all apart from nature, but let's fucking think on that. Do we look at an anthill or bird's nest and think, well, that's not natural because those little fuckers constructed it? No, we don't. Everything is made of fucking stardust. The earth, ourselves, plastic, metal, whatever the fuck. It's fucking nature if you pan out far enough. Sadly, our dumbasses tend to misuse it, but that's not my point here. Technology itself uses natural, universal laws to operate like antennas. An old school TV or radio receives a continually broadcasted signal through its antenna, and then it turns that invisible signal into something we can see or hear. Our cell phones are also fucking antennas, albeit with the capacity to remember shit. Our phones receive an invisible signal traveling at the fucking speed of light, and icons of that invisible light appear as apps and shit. But ultimately, it's just an antenna, a bunch of minerals and shit fashioned to receive and transmit a form of light as waves, which we cannot see, hear, or fucking comprehend through our senses. How fucking extraordinary is that? 100 years ago, nobody would believe this shit could be possible, but here you fucking are, seeing me and my glorious fucking mustache on the piece of glass before you. What the fuck, right? So with that, let's stretch our fucking minds and relate these laws of physics to ourselves. For the sake of comparison, our bodies are like the cell phone case. The electronics are neural pathways, apps are our thoughts, the screen is our ego, but the information comes from where? Where fucking indeed. Did you know science does not understand consciousness? We don't really know what the fuck it is. There's nothing we can see in the brain that fully explains how we are conscious. A phone without a signal can only run that which is stored in its apps and shit. Like when we're unconscious, our brain beats our heart and breathes our breath and a myriad of other shit. Let's imagine that instead of the idea that we're fucking ghosts driving around a meat tractor, that we're simply meat antennas, and we're all receiving the same fucking signal. And that all-pervasive signal, whose only fucking attribute is existence, is running through our meat antenna and all of the fucking apps that we've downloaded in the form of experiences, beliefs, attractions, aversions, and like that. And that signal of existence, as it interacts with our apps, is what we fucking call consciousness. Now, I'm not trying to install another app in your ass. I don't want to imply a new belief system because belief gets in the fucking way and distorts the fucking signal. I simply propose an exercise in hopes of cracking your paradigm a little bit. Now, if this lights up your attachment to individuality or a soul-based belief system, you can either thumb swipe my cussing ass away, or you can grab that squirmy little rabbit by the ears and fucking observe the constructs of your mind and decide whether you find that app to be useful, or perhaps it's time to update that motherfucker, or maybe just delete it and see what else the fucking app store of the universe has to offer. It's up to you. I'm not the fucking boss of you. Toodaloo.